Good morning, and today we are going to have a little wander around the village and the surrounding areas. Just go do some rambling. There is a tea room nearby, so we're going to probably stop off for some cake and tea as well, so I'm really excited for that.
Fast flowing river. Yeah.
What's behind you, Wayne?
Alton Towers.
That's not Alton Towers. What's that?
Alton Castle.
Alton Castle.
Sorry. I'm too excited.
You're too excited.
And down here, where we see this is the old railway station.
Oh, that's quite pretty actually. Look at that, that's quaint. That's really cute.
Old Alton railway station, closed in the 1960s. And I think it opened in 1841, similar.
I do quite like the fact that it's literally just below the gate to their estate.
Well, it was open to the public for many years, and people would arrive here by train and then could walk straight up through the gate to go and visit the grounds and the gardens.
Obviously we'll talk more about Alton Towers and the history of it when we're there, but
right now we're following this path.
right now we're going to follow the disused railway. So we've just come down from that bridge and the view of the castle. Glad you got your walking boots on.
Yeah, loads of mud.
It's a bit puddly, it has been raining a lot recently.
All of these beautiful trees are making a lovely archway. But it's very muddy as well.
And we're heading to a bridge called Lord's Bridge. And we need to cross Lord's Bridge. So let's look out for that.
Slightly scary experience. So we just popped out of where the weir is and we were talking about all the old walls and gates and how that was probably once some kind of water mill, and we literally just popped back out onto the railroad and came face to face with a bull and 2 cows.
It was making a lot of noise.
It was making loads of noise. That was scary. We just walked away incredibly fast. And here along the railway track, we think that this is Lord's Bridge. And we are going to take this side path and walk all the way around through the trees and go across it. So we'll probably see you at the top.
So crossing Lord's Bridge, just across the railway track. We've left now miles away. What have you found? Hooves? Yeah, horses. Obviously. We're just on our way to Ramblers Retreat here. And it's now tea room.
I do like the fact that you go over that old stone bridge and you get this really cute. What have you got, Lizzie?
I've got a mini egg cookie.
And
Tea.
a pot of tea. And I
It's very
have...
cold out here.
It's a bit chilly, but you got a blanket.
Yeah.
They provide blankets. We are on the cappuccinos.
Cappuccinos, and I've got a mini egg cookie.
You've got a mini egg
Looks
cookie.
good.
We've got a little heart in our cappuccino. And I am waiting by the buzzer for my pudding. And it's a proper pudding. I can't wait, I'll show you what it is. As soon as I said that, my pudding came out. It is a hot cross bun bread and butter pudding, which sounds incredible, with a massive mound of home whipped cream. I think I'm going to need to share this because it's huge. We've already had breakfast today, but here we are. So this pudding has defeated the three of us. I just wanted to say, if you don't know what bread and butter pudding is, it's a traditional British dessert which is literally layers of buttered bread, kind of lasagnaed with like raisins, sultanas, sugar and cinnamon, and then you put it in a dish and then you bake it in like a lake of custard essentially, and that is bread and butter pudding, except for this one has been made with a hot cross bun. Instead of buttered bread, you butter the hot cross bun. That was really good, really good.
Yeah, very good.
It was very tasty.
It's something that I might actually try and make
The
at
cream is
home.
very nice.
Saying that we thought this was a meal.
But it's not. It's the old gatehouse, which led to Alton Towers. And it's called Dimmingsdale Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was originally the Dimmingsdale Gatehouse to the early Shrewsbury's Alton Towers. So there we go.
There we go.
There we go. But there were lots of water mills around this area and in this valley.
That hence the confusion. And Lizzie was saying earlier, whilst we were eating, I overheard her talking about the two things that you need to remember to do in the countryside.
Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photos.
you stamping in muddy puddles? You're making weird slushy noises.
The more you stand on it, the wetter it gets.
Oh, lovely. So, back from the gatehouse, which is now the Ramblers Retreat Cafe, back over Lord's Bridge. We're continuing down this track. There's the old railway line, and underneath all of this muddy, sandy soil, there are pebbles. Because from the gatehouse across the bridge, this is one of the old major carriageways to what's now Alton Towers, and would have been the house of the Earls of Shrewsbury. So these stones would have been put down for the carriages to drive along. So the carriageway, once you come down off of Lord's Bridge, bends away from the railway line, so the railway line is over that way, and we're now following this old carriageway up towards the estate and away from the railway line.
It's easier to see the stones here.
It is easier to see the stones here. Now, the Earls of Shrewsbury are subject to a local legend which takes place along this very carriageway that we're walking along now. And we're going to see a very interesting, and in my opinion eerie, landmark, which is a part of that same legend. And this begins with the 15th and 16th Earls of Shrewsbury, but nobody knows which. It was the 15th Earl, Charles, that decided to turn his hunting lodge and estate into a manor house. The 16th Earl, who I believe his name was James, was the one who employed architect Pugin to design his Gothic masterpiece, which is the ruins that you can still see today within the resort. However, one of those two earls are subject to a legend which states that along this very coaching road towards the house that was stood on right now, one of them was approached by an old lady on the road during the night time. She begged them for some money, they refused her, and she cursed them. And the curse states that on an oak tree along this same coaching road, for any branch that falls, a member of their family shall die. Was so scared by this curse, he wrapped the tree in chains to try and prevent any of the branches from falling, which sounds a very likely story until we show you what we're about to show you now.
This is the great chained oak tree from the legend. So
here, this massive branch of this ancient tree, and it really is ancient. You just look at the gnarled width of that trunk. This branch has fallen. The chains are so old that they've actually are embedded within the structure of the tree. So as the tree has grown, the chains have cut into the branches, and then the branches have kind of healed themselves around the chains, and now the chains go directly through the branches, which in the sad reality, these chains have caused this branch to fall because they would have weakened the tree. But just look at the size of those chains. They are absolutely huge.
Now there's lots of theories why this tree was chained up. Now, could it have been because the legend was true? Could it have been because they were trying to preserve it, and by chaining up the branches would help prolong this tree, which granted it is pretty spectacular, particularly where it's sitting, but it's not unique. There's so many other trees in this area which are probably just as spectacular, which is curious.
And here we can see part of the chain where the branch has snapped and the chain has snapped with it, but the chain just continues to snake around the tree. And then up here, oh, the chains are hanging from the upper branches and they go through here.
And you can see the end of the chain all the way up there. Where it curves round, doesn't it?
I mean, it is a bit creepy, I have to say.
When I first came here, this branch hadn't fallen. It was still up. And it's kind of sad. It's almost like half the tree fell.
So I've managed to get up closer to the chain, and I'm just putting my hand in for scale. Look how heavy and thick these chains are. And as I was saying, you can see where they've cut into the oak, and the oak has tried continuously growing and expanding, and eventually it's caused the wood to break. But I mean, they weigh a ton. I've actually feel a bit weird holding them given the curse, but here they go. Oh, let's see if I can get a shot of this through this oak branch and over. And then just a close-up of where the chain and the tree literally merge together. These chains have been here for a long time.
Now I've got to do the impossible and try and get down from here because it's really slippy. Why? I did it. Why was this tree chained and none of the others around here? And yeah, it's exciting. And if you want to experience this in legend form, then there's a ride at Alton Towers called Hex. And yeah, you can look at it from the fantasy made-up perspective.
I'm just slowly going down here, they're just crawling.
I really do like Lizzie's way of getting down those stairs without falling. Well, she's been narrating away down there about the legend, she's been going down backwards. Did you feel safe doing that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. Someone did it for a laugh whilst drunk. That's what I reckon. Yeah, makes no sense.
Even pointed out that this, I suppose it's like a secondary gatehouse along the coaching road, is in the exact same style as the Ramblers Retreat. And then through the trees, I can see the roller coaster track. Here comes the roller coaster now. Just to give some perspective, here's the end of the coaching road, which is now pretty degraded. And we've come out onto this track here. Here's that gatehouse, which is in the same style as the one at the bottom of the hill. And here is the old entrance to Alton Towers, which I'm guessing would have made use of the rest of the old track towards the house.
You would follow that straight up to the entrance of the house. In fact, if you keep going up there and to the right, you'll go through the original staff entrance and see the old kitchens and sculleries and things like that.
How excited are you?
Very. Because I've seen loads of cool things and I cannot wait until the day we get to go down there.
Now that we've made it to the top of the drive, we can't go any further because obviously Alton Towers is owned by Merlin, so we can't go in without a ticket. So we're just checking out the audience survey.
And we're here. I'm probably going to backtrack. Back along here, down across here, down to the Talbot pub next.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Come on to another sort of old stoned trackway and through the trees on the hill on the other side of the valley across the river. You can just make out the turrets of the old flag tower in the Alton Towers estate. Beautiful view of Alton Castle there. Stephen was just saying, Victorian building on the site of the Norman castle.
It's a huge in design castle, but it's still got the early remnants of the previous castle,
which was Norman.
which is Norman.
Talbot Inn, it's our pit stop. We're back at the bottom of the village. They've got the fires going. I can see smoke's coming out the chimneys. Oh, it's so pretty. Another history fact for you. The reason why the Talbot has these pictures of these two dogs is because the Talbot family were the Earls of Shrewsbury, the landowners around here, and they were famous for having these white dogs called the Talbot Hounds. You can't get them anymore, but reading up, it would be a bit like if you imagine a beagle with a long tail and long legs, but completely white. That would have been a Talbot Hound. So we just stopped for a quick drink, pit stop in the Talbot Inn. It was really cosy, the smell was amazing.
Very warm.
Very warm, wasn't it? We're back out in the
Cold.
cold. It's not that cold, it just feels colder now that we've come out of the nice warm toasty inn. Back over the bridge towards where we left this morning. We're going in the opposite direction now. Whilst we were in the inn, we were having a look at the brain's gone blank. Alton Railway Station. There we go. Got there in the end. The Alton Railway Station. Because we were deliberating whilst we were there, there was lots of private property signs about what it is now, and I mentioned to Stephen it would make a good cafe, but it's actually a holiday home. So you can rent it out and stay there. It's very twee, very quaint. So if you're interested, you can check that out online and stay there yourself. So walking in the opposite direction along the railway line. It's a lot less trafficy up this neck of the woods. I don't know what you think, Stephen. Alright, so we are at the crossroads. Okay, so we are going into look at that for an entrance to a trackway.
So this is the public footpath, which is on the edge of Alton Towers. And yeah, we kind of started off out the Talbot Inn. And you can follow up this way, but oh my god. That's insane.
Stephen has just told me we are going up here. Wish us luck. So after walking through this narrow, muddy trail through the woods, which again is apparently a public footpath. I don't know if you can see the path.
To get up, please.
How is this listed as a public footpath? Oh, I don't know what that noise was. That was an interesting call.
Making progress. There's a pheasant. There's a pheasant.
Oh, there's a pheasant.
Oh, maybe that was the call that we heard. Just a pheasant walking through the woods.
This rock formations and the cliffs. How damn cool. Oh my god, look at that. You can see the tree resting on a boulder.
Okay, so I've made it. Not to the top, but quite far up now.
Not that big.
Oh, is that the pheasants calling? I don't think I've ever heard a pheasant call before. I don't think I've ever seen a pheasant in the woods before. I thought they were field animals. Do they live in the woods?
That one does.
Oh, that's impressive. Look at that. That's amazing. Have you seen this before, Steve?
No.
That's incredible. What do you think, Lizzie?
It's amazing.
Oh, look at that.
So in Anglo-Saxon times, there was a battle between the Saxons, Wessex and Mercia. And the Wessex king had his encampment here whilst he was attacking the Mercian king, who held Alton Towers at the time. And this impressive.
It's incredible. So it's like this big crack through the earth. Just opens up, and look, there's trees growing on the top of it, and they're huge. It's this incredible bit of geology. It's been quite magical. It really has been magical. That's incredible. Wow. Joe's cave, apparently. So when did the battle take place, do we know? And King Einar, and he was in battle against the Mercians in the 700s. Wow. It's worth the walk if you can handle the walk, because I would say it's pretty dangerous. We've made it up, a bit of a hill, done the rest of the public footpath, and it's the CBeebies Hotel.
I used to love it.
Anyway.
I used to love it.
J2O, little one? J2O?
Yeah. I enjoyed J2O.
Yeah. Get some water.
And following our crazy walk, yes, you arrive at Alton Towers Resort.
We're at Alton Towers Water Hotel.
Yeah, we're in Splash Landings Hotel, aren't we?
Yeah. And right behind us.
Yeah. Through the windows behind Lizzie is an indoor water park, which we're going to go to later on in the week, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
You're very excited, aren't you?
You have to swim through a tunnel to go into the outdoor bit.
So we just stopped at the Splash Landings Hotel at Alton Towers for a drink. I had a lemonade. There are two mallards, so hold on, I need to get them on camera. Hello. You are very photogenic, aren't you? Hello. As I was saying, we just stopped for a drink. I had a lemonade. Lizzie had a J2O. Stephen had a pint. We've got to now navigate our way back down a dodgy hill.
Which is
But what's interesting is that public motorway, which is old, you know, it's ancient. runs straight through the resort. So what they've done is they've put the hotels here. You can't access the theme park from the hotels. It's the music of the CBeebies hotel behind me. Yeah, the public footpath runs right through the side of the resort. So what they've done is that's where they've put their hotels. You can't access the theme park, but you can access the hotels. So you can book in for food if you're not a guest. You can get a drink, have a relax, book in for swimming if that's what you want to do, because Splash Landings has the indoor water park. Or if you want to do like a hiking holiday, you could actually book in for a night there if you wanted to as well, because you can access it along this public footpath. We did check out this path to see if we could walk to Alton Towers for our days at the theme park, but we just think that this hill's going to be a little bit too precarious. After a whole day at the theme park and the sun setting, I don't fancy it, particularly if there's going to be a bit more showery later on in the week. So because of that, we're probably going to drive, which is a shame because it's only like a 40-minute walk if that. It's too dodgy. Okay, we made it back down a dodgy hill to the railway tracks. We're just crossing now. We're going to go over this little bridge and try out the other footpath that we saw in the audience over the other side of the river. Let's turn you around. Tiny little public footpath bridge. Right, go for it, we won't. Hey, we are back in the cottage. Literally 2 doors up is a restaurant. It's a pub. Don't know what kind of food they do, but we have a table booked in, I think it's about 45 minutes. So we've got time just to sit and have a chill, reflect on our day. The Talbot Inn was beautiful. It was just cozy. Love that pub. Really impressed with it.
Nice.
You're back. What is this cottage called?
Ash House.
Ash House, and we booked it on
Bookings.com.
bookings.com.
But they're also on lots of other platforms.
Okay, so if you do want to stay here, it's called Ash House. So here is the entrance to the cottage. We're going out the gate. Oh, on the little narrow path. Cool. Here. Pretty quaint.
You got a halloumi kebab. I have beef shin. Mao has.
It's sea bass.
Okay, sea bass.
So, Lizzie, what was your favourite part of today?
That's a hard choice, but I would say going through Alton Towers.
Going to Alton Towers Hotel.
Yeah, I'm looking at the water park.
What do you think of your halloumi kebab?
Amazing, it's just great.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Is it really good food?
Yeah.
What do you think of the bull's head?
The bull's head is really good.
It's
lovely,
nice in here.
Lovely food, nice drinks, nice atmosphere.
It's beautiful in here.
I recommend it.
I think I've done it. We have log burner success.